Instagram. All right, ready? I'm ready to go live when you are. We're going to do free flowing. You live? All right, 3, 2, 1. We're live on Instagram and Facebook? All right, ready? I'm ready to go live. All right, ready? I'm ready to go live when you are. Turn that off. Free flowing. You live?
What is going on?
You got to mute that. 2, 1. We're live on Instagram and Facebook? All right, ready? I'm ready to go. You're muted on here. Check? We good? All right. 3, 2, 1. Welcome in to the Inside Carolina Postgame Live. I'm your host, Ross Martin, joined by Sean Drone. What's up, Sean?
I'm hurt.
I'm
hurt, bro. That's a terrible loss.
I'm glad I was here to watch that game with you. Gosh, what a unbelievable game. Inside Carolina Postgame Live brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka. We'll be holding this bottle now for 12 games, and it's looking mighty tasty.
We probably need to take the whole bottle tonight for that loss.
It's looking mighty tasty right now. Blue Shark Vodka, the smoothest vodka in the world. Of course, Jimmy's Famous Seafood. We'll talk about them later. Guys, I don't even know the score. Unbelievable game. NC State beats UNC 35-30. UNC drops at home. The finale, the season finale. Sam Howell's likely last game in Carter Finley. Just a crazy ending that we just finished watching it. We're gonna break it all down here. Sean, your initial thoughts on this game, obviously your emotions, your thoughts, and we'll get into kind of what really happened.
Yeah, I mean, initially I feel like we started out the exact same team we've been throughout the year. We started slow in first quarter, first and second quarter, kind of picked it up going into the half, and then we sparked the flame, and we kind of got things moving in the second half, and we made plays, bro. And that's the thing. Like, we're in position to make plays. We talk about this all the time. We're in a position to make plays, but we didn't make them at the very end of the game when they needed to really step up and make them. But
the biggest thing is UNC had a lead. Was it 10 points?
Yeah,
it was a two-score lead
at the half.
No. I'm talking about the end.
Oh yeah.
Two-score lead at the end. NC State gets the ball. It's like, all right, slow them down, make them burn some clock out.
Right.
And NC State hits the bomb to Emeka Amizi over a zone defense. Grimes kind of gave it up to the safety.
Yep.
They scored a touchdown. Okay, scored a touchdown. UNC's still up by 3. Or 2. 2.
Was it 2? Because they went up 4. I don't even know. I think it was because they would kick the field goal, and I think they would have.
Yeah, the numbers are confusing us here. But UNC was still up. And then, gosh, we gotta get the freaking stats here.
Yeah.
Okay, so it was 30. It was 30-28. And then State scored another touchdown to make it 34-30. That was the winning margin. So they overcame. They had an onside kick.
Yeah.
And they recovered that, which rarely happens.
Bro.
And then they went down and scored another touchdown. So that was a huge difference. And we thought UNC was going to win the game. It was all going that way. And then all of a sudden, NC State takes over in the last couple of minutes and blows the game wide open. Your emotions on that stuff. Let's break down the touchdown.
The touchdown where right after, was that after the onside? No, that was before the onside.
Yeah,
so they had a minute 24. We thought the game was in the bag. They were up. We were up 9? It was 30-21, I think, when they scored that touchdown. But pretty much a breakdown in communication, or either Cam Kelly didn't know what was going on. It was a basic cover 2 coverage from what I could tell. The corner was playing the flat, and he handed off the deep ball to Cam Kelly. Cam Kelly was being nosy on a route with the coming up the seam where the linebacker actually had coverage on him. So I'm not sure it was all on the safety though. I mean, it was classic cover 2. It showed you the corner was playing flat, the Sam linebacker was playing seam. I mean, it was a classic cover 2, and he blew the coverage.
Unbelievable, because the whole game was going NC State's way in the first half. Yeah. And you're like, all right,
I will say that.
14-0. You thought UNC couldn't run the ball. NC State was running the ball all over them. They had a great kind of.
But they stopped running the ball actually.
Exactly, and then UNC got a couple things going their way. They had a touchdown. They held NC State to a missed field goal in the half. Yeah. They had some momentum going in the second half, and Sam scores twice. I think he scored at the end of the first half, scores at the beginning of the first half.
Yep.
Things are going. They got Justin Olsen, so you're like, things are going UNC's way. And all of a sudden, it was still going UNC's way, UNC's way. And then it just breaks down the last like 4 minutes, and they just drop the ball.
No, it was the last minute and a half.
Exactly. It's like we had this thing set to go.
Set to go.
And I mean, really, the touchdown. We're like, all right, touchdown's not great.
Well, I will say, I'll back up and say, I think it was the drive before we scored, maybe. I can't remember. The drive before we to make it 30, where we had, 3 drop passes? Mm-hmm. Was that the drive before then? I can't remember, but I mean, everything was going good until that drive, and then we couldn't complete a pass in the red zone. I mean, that's kind of been our downfall too. 3rd down in red zone, we just can't convert.
Yeah. And like, look, and then Grayson Atkins hits a huge field goal to give us the
automatic.
double, give us the 2-score lead, and then NC State scores back-to-back touchdowns. Were they both to Emeka Emezie? Is that what we're seeing here? I don't know. It's hard to remember each thing, but I think they were both to Emeka Emezie. I don't know, but NC State won 34 to 30 here. It's hard to process everything that's going on. Let's get to our 3 plays of the game, and this is just, we're rattled here on Inside Carolina Postgame Line. 3 plays of the game brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka, smoothest vodka in the world. Our buddy Connor Barth in Wilmington in Wrights, North Carolina, helps make this vodka here. It's made from North Carolina sweet corn. It's the smoothest vodka in the world. They've been with us for all season, 12 games. I had a little this afternoon, a little pregame action with Blue Shark Vodka. It's been great. I gave our buddy Mark Armstrong, former anchor of ABC 11, a little Thanksgiving cocktail. It was Blue Shark Vodka. It was ginger ale, a little orange twist, a little cranberry, and a little cranberry juice. That was our Thanksgiving holiday Blue Shark Vodka cocktail. All 100 counties Blue Shark Vodka, smoothest vodka in the world. Mellowed 28 days and available in all 100 counties. Blue Shark Vodka. Check it out today. Great for the holiday season. Great little gift. Hey, stuffing soccer underneath the Christmas tree or whatever holiday you celebrate. We got producer Grant back here. How we doing here? Are you on the mic?
I can be.
There you go. Get your questions in. Facebook, YouTube. We're kind of settled down here. We're kind of trying to figure it out. We got all this stuff going on here. We're trying to figure out actually what happened. Get your questions into YouTube and Facebook. We'll get to those quickly. 3 plays of the game brought to you by Blue Shark Vodka. Okay. Huge play of the game was that fumble recovery, stripped by Jeremiah Gemmell, picked up by Cedric Gray, and then ran back, and the UNC scores. How important was that to put UNC in position to play a big role in this game?
I think we were down 17-10 at that point. And I mean, big momentum shift. I feel like that was the play to really kick us forward and start to really make things happen. I mean, we haven't really forced a lot of turnovers this year. I mean, we had a few picks, but end of the game picks, but nothing in game that really turned the momentum and allowed us to really get stuff going on the offensive side. But a big play by Gemmell, definitely a heads-up play. On the way down, he stripped it out, and that was big heads-up play, and that was definitely a momentum turner for us.
That was huge at that point in the game to just get another possession, steal it away from NC State, an aggressive strip out, a great strip out, pick up by Cedric Gray, and then the offense capitalized, which we haven't seen all the time.
Right,
Sam Howell runs it in. It was sketchy there. But dude, Sam Howell took over at times in this game.
He did.
It was like, F it, I'm running the ball in. I'm scoring. This might be my last game. I'm scoring here.
But that's what's been our thing this year. Like, Sam has to get like the locomotive moving. Like, without Sam, we can't get it like to where like Josh Down, he'll break a game open, but then as we went along in the year, it's been Sam with his feet and making plays, and that's what made us go forward in the offense and get some momentum.
Sam Howell's been the best offense, I think,
hands down,
in terms of running the game. I mean, especially in the second half, he was running for first downs left and right.
Hands down.
Okay, the onside kick. I mean, we watched it. It was kind of hard to. Well, let's go to the NC State touchdown first. The long touchdown to Emeka Emezie. You already broke it down. That was a huge play of the game for NC State. UNC was up by 2 scores, and they got the bomb to Emeka Emezie that kind of gave them some life at the end of the game. What did you see on that play? You already kind of broke it down.
I'm trying to figure out which one we're talking about.
The Grimes gave it up to Trey Morrison.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it was really just like I said, it was a breakdown in coverage, or either he knew he was in cover 2, he just got nosy on a seam play, which I can't remember exactly what the down and distance was, but for him to jump that route that was underneath and he has a guy running full tilt on the sideline that he has to cover it, it's beyond me. It's just.
It was a 64-yard pass play on the second play of that drive.
Does it say the down and distance?
From Devin Leary to Emeka Emezie. I can pull it up here. But it was just like, all right, got him a touchdown, but it was just such an easy touchdown.
It was.
You wanted to give up a lot more time on that play, and it was just. And then they got the onside kick next. I'm trying to pull it up here, buddy. Yeah. Down distance, second 18 on the NC State 36. It was a 64-yard touchdown.
Second and 18, and you're jumping a 10-yard seam route.
It was just weird how they were playing. He was playing press coverage too. Yeah. Okay, and then the onside kick came right after that Emeka Emezie play. The onside kick. It was weird because up the middle, which you usually don't see. You usually see it going to one of the sides. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, he probably, I can't remember exactly, everything happened so fast. I don't know if it was just one or two guys in the middle and he just maybe switched it up, but they go where the guys ain't. They kick it where you ain't. And that's what they typically did. But Trey Morrison, he was right. I don't know whether he was waiting for it to go 10 yards and whether it was a missed call on the ref side or what. But, he was right there, and it looked like he went for the ball, and then he jumped over it. So
it went through UNC, and they were rattled, and then NC State fell on it. It was weird because it was up the middle, which you don't see enough. It was like UNC wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I don't know.
That was
a weird
huge
play.
You give up the touchdown, and then you give the onside kick. That's the perfect recipe for a comeback.
End of the game with a minute left.
And they score again to Emeka Emezie again in the end zone.
On Cam Kelly.
Yeah.
He had a chance to redeem himself.
I know. Oh my gosh.
Had a chance to redeem himself.
That
was embarrassing.
What a freaking game. What a meltdown by UNC. It was also a meltdown by NC State because NC State was rolling. And UNC just sputtered. UNC did a great job to come back. Mm-hmm. The defense was rocking, rolling. They were making plays. They're getting sacks. They were getting. They had a fumble recovery. They were scoring. Sam Howell was rocking.
A lot of sacks. We had 6 or 7 sacks. I think. Taman Fox wrecking the game like usual.
Questions in. Grant, do we have any questions on YouTube or Facebook?
We've got a couple questions.
Let's get a couple in right here.
All right. Well, we're starting with John. If you're Sam Howell, how disappointed are you that this is how you finished your last, this is how the last season of your UNC career is going at 6-6?
Yeah,
yeah.
It could have been a great way to come back and win with how he ran the ball.
Exactly.
2 touchdowns, big game, comes out, goes 3-0 against NC State, and now tail between your legs, you lose.
But Sam did. I can't think of any. Careful how I word it. But I can't think of any bad decisions he made tonight to really put it on him to say I kind of regret not doing this or doing that. Because at the end of the game, it wasn't him. At the end of the game, he was putting them away.
And look, remember the 2 touchdown passes he had to Antoine Green in the end zone?
Oh my God! I think that was a perfect ending. And he could have stamped it right there.
I think UNC ended up scoring on that drive. I think it was a run-in by Sam, or maybe that was the field goal, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to figure out which drive that was where we spun.
Yeah,
I think that was a field goal.
Sam did everything he could to win the game, and
he should go out with his head held high. He has some people around him, but he can't do but so much. He was the offense, like we said. He can't throw it and go down the field and catch it too. He ran and passed as good as he could.
It sounded like Tom Brady's wife after the bowl game, which is a bunch of. I'll say this, dude. Sam Howell's been incredible for 3 years.
Absolutely.
He hasn't had the talent around him. This is a broader thing. He got here in 2019 and was the man for 3 years. The talent wasn't caught up to him, except for last year. The offense was unbelievable. The defense wasn't caught up. This year, it was both a little letdown on defense and offense for him, and it takes more than one person when it's an 11-man sport.
Yeah, tough way to go out, man.
Look, Sam Howell, I'd love for him to play in the bowl game. If he's not, can't blame him. But he has been an incredible player for UNC,
Absolutely.
incredible building block, and a program changer for this team. We can talk more about him as we move on. Okay, any more questions? Maybe one more now, Grant. You see one? We got to get this thing going here.
All right, we've got one from Jermon. This one's for Sean. I mean, what's your overall thoughts on the game of British Brooks?
Oh
Sean?
man, I couldn't wait to talk about him. Actually, he's actually one of our players of the game. So
Let's just go right into it.
Yeah.
All right.
Players of the game.
Players of the game brought to you by Jimmy's Famous Seafood. Jimmy's Famous Seafood online at jimmysfamousseafood.com. Get your crab cakes, get your crab, get all your crab appetizers and dishes at jimmysfamousseafood.com. They support us. They support Inside Carolina. They support Inside Carolina athletes, Armando Becat, Dawson Garcia, jimmysfamousseafood.com. We'll talk to them more after this segment. British Brooks, 14 carries, 124 yards, 8.3 yards per carry, a massive game for the walk-on running back.
That's a day, man. I mean, especially for being a walk-on. I mean, I know the years that I was here, we rooted for the walk-ons because we know, it's not easy to walk on and, be the guy that's low on the totem pole. You got to do the dirty work, in which he did a lot of, most of his career playing on special teams. But I was kind of talking to Ross earlier. I think he will. I don't know. He may get a chance on the next level just off of special teams. I mean, but for us tonight, he did what he was supposed to do. I mean, leading into the last game, he had over 100 yards as well against Wofford, and he displayed what he could have done all year, in my opinion. And you never know, why the coaches don't play him or didn't play him, but had a monster game. I mean, 15 carries for 124. That's a big game, big time game. It shows some burst.
Mm-hmm.
He was a one-cut guy. He showed some some patience, and he hit it. I like what I saw from him.
It's almost like, why
did we play him? I honestly,
he looked strong.
Bro,
he looked fat. Dude, he looked like Javonte Williams out there.
He looked exactly. He reminded. I mean, he
That
was
burst.
getting yards after contact as well. He was pushing the pile, and like I said, he was a one-cut guy. He was patient. Got behind his blockers. I mean, he was setting blocks up. I mean, I would have liked to see him a lot more this year.
Yeah.
He very impressive to me. I'll be honest with you.
British Brooks, 15 carries, 124 yards, 8.3 yards per carry. Next player of the game, Cedric Gray, UNC linebacker, burst on the scene after a couple games.
Yeah.
Came in for UNC-N.C, and he's been a stud.
Yeah,
Sophomore, flying all over the place.
Solid.
12 tackles, 1.5 tackles for a loss, but included 1 sack, and he had the big fumble recovery, and that's all about being in the right place, right time. It seems like he is always around the turnovers.
Yeah, absolutely.
And around the balls.
But he flies to the ball. I mean, he knows how to get off blocks as well, which I think, kind of what set him apart from Asante. With Asante being that smaller body and the lineman getting up on the second level to him, getting his hands on him. But with Cedric Gray, he knows he's a bigger guy, knows how to get off the blocks, and he's pretty fast. He's covering. But like you said, he's always around the ball and making plays. I mean, 12 tackles, you got to be flying.
Yeah, athletic, long, and we look forward to him being a big-time player next season. Could be kind of an all-ACC type guy, leading the defense with Jeremiah Gimmel out next season, obviously going to the draft. Mm-hmm. All right, and our next player, Jeremiah Gimmel had a great season, a great game, by the way. Shout him out. Not a player of the game for us, but 10 tackles. I mean, he could easily be one. 10 tackles, 0.5 tackles for a loss, and had the forced fumble. Our third player game, Taman Fox. Clap it up for him. Taman Fox, 6 tackles, 2.5 sacks, all over in the backfield for Devin Leary. He's a senior, 6-year senior. He's played under 3 different presidents.
Presidents?
3 different presidents or administrations. He played under Barack Obama, played under Donald Trump, and Joe Biden.
Well, that
played
is
3
a
presidents.
fun fact, Ross.
Yeah.
We appreciate that.
Taman Fox, 2.5 sacks. You don't see that often. He's been a great Tar Heel for the last 6 years. What did you see from him this year? Or this game, sorry.
He's been a force. I mean, all year to me. Definitely, I mean, did he pass Lawrence Taylor?
He already did. He might have passed somebody else today.
And I think he was maybe past Peppers for the most sacks or something, or he was getting close. But, like I said, definitely been a force. I think he'll be pretty good on the next level. I mean, 6 years. You got some training behind you, so
That's right.
Yeah, I hope to see him on the next level.
He's a guy when you think. I mean, Jay Bateman said about him. He's a guy you compare players to in terms of how you prepare, how you work. He's respected, senior, no off-field issues. Been a great guy. Covers recruitment. Covered his last 6 seasons. Me and Taman had a long journey together.
Grown man.
That's right. Okay. That was the Jimmy's Famous Seafood Players of the Game. Go to jimmysfamousseafood.com. Get your crab cakes, get your crab dip, get your crabs. mix it up on Christmas. Order some crabs for maybe a December 23rd, 24th
I
type
might
deal.
do that, actually.
And get some dip, and get a couple things here. You ship all across the United States. Jimmy's Famous Seafood, they're crazy UNC fans. They're chirping on Twitter. They sponsor Amanda Baycott and Dawson Garcia. They're just great Tar Heel fans. Jimmy'sFamousSeafood.com. All right, get your questions in. Producer Grant, something in for Producer John. Love Producer John. Do we have any more questions? Maybe 2 or 3 more that kind of get us going here, Grant?
We've got one for Sean. It's from Scott. He's just kind of wondering. He feels that every game UNC's got an eligible receiver downfield. Is that more of lack of discipline among players, or is that stuff like that just happen when a quarterback scrambles and a lineman may leak downfield or something?
Yeah, I think that's exactly what it is. And too, the lineman may have forgot. It's either a passing play or a quarterback draws. So maybe he got confused with that. But, I mean, it's easy to get across the line of scrimmage, especially when Sam is scrambling. And they're still blocking, like trying to make sure that Sam has enough time to get the pass off. And he, on that particular play, I think it was Azudu, was on the backside. And, I mean, he just barely got over the line of scrimmage. So I think that was a terrible call for one. But yeah, I mean, those things happen. Not, I don't think it's a lack of discipline. I think it's really, with those type of guys like Azudu, I mean, he's a motor guy. So I think those guys are just going down the field to try to be effective and, get into the play.
Any more questions, Grant?
Yeah, I've got one that's for the both of you. This one's from Tim. Whoever wants to answer it. Is this a bigger loss for UNC than it is like a bigger win for NC State? Like, where do these two programs move from this loss?
I think it's a bigger win for State. They are now in play.
There's a lot of stuff on the line.
They're now in play for the ACC Atlantic Championship. If Wake Forest loses to Boston College tomorrow, up in Boston, Chestnut Hill, State will go to the conference championship. It's a huge deal. It's a tough loss. NC State, on paper, the better team, favored at home. This would have been a big loss for State for how UNC came back and got the win. The way it ended looked super bad for UNC.
And the thing was, they matched up pretty well all game. Like we played well enough to win.
It was trading punches.
It was. But like you said, I guess the better team on paper came out at the end. The more disciplined team came to win. Yeah. And that was NC State.
And there was some fluky stuff at the end, like onside kick, that deep touchdown. Those are fluky things.
But like you said, the ones who were mentally disciplined at the end of the game is really, they showed that they were the more disciplined team.
They never gave up. And
made tackles.
And
we missed a bunch of tackles.
There was like ESPN projection that UNC was like 99.9% projected to win with like a minute to go.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
That's what it said, like the statistics on that.
Like when we started with the block punt, I didn't get worried at all because I was like, okay, that's just us. We start bad in the first quarter, first half anyway, and then we pick it up in the second for some reason.
What's so crazy? This game was so nuts and so crazy, we haven't even talked about block punts. The game started on like a freaking block punt on the second possession.
Right.
And they blocked another one that happened. UNC happened to recover and run, but it was.
We actually got a little tip too.
Yes, 3 block punts total. Okay, let's close the show out. Grant, any more questions? Anyone's worthy you see on there? Go through it there.
Unless you want to comment on refereeing, then.
Nah, we won't get into that. There's so many weird calls. Yeah. All right, let's get into our 3 takeaways. Want to mention Blue Shark Vodka, again, the smoothest vodka in the world. Three takeaways for UNC's 34-30 loss to NC State. A lot of things there, a lot of things we already mentioned.
Yeah.
But the mental aspect of giving up that touchdown late in the game and the onside kick, how do you kind of put that into words? I know you mentioned it a lot now, but we can kind of repeat what we've said given the nature of this broadcast.
I mean, a lot of that also goes into coaching. You have to know situation football. At the end of a game, I mean, at the end of every practice that I can remember, we did situation football. You can't go over every scenario, right? Yeah. But there are certain scenarios that typically happen when it comes down to the wire at the end of the game. Onside kick is one. And just being disciplined in your calls and being in the right place at the end of a game, 2, which happened to us. And those are two situations where, I feel like, the coaches have to kind of take reins and say, if they did it, I don't know. I'm not at practice, so I don't know if they went through those certain situations. But like I said, the mental aspect and the team that showed they were more mentally disciplined was NC State, and we showed we weren't there.
Yeah, that touchdown. It's like the fact we're playing press coverage. I know we talk about a lot of press coverage. Like, give them some space. Get your safeties back.
The one where Cam Kelly bit up in cover 2, that wasn't press. That was just cover 2.
I'm talking about the first one.
Oh, okay.
Before the onside kick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just like the way that we were guarding that was kind of crazy. Okay, and then UNC, I think another takeaway here, number 2, is just not closing out the game and having the opportunity there. And I think we've seen this a lot this season. It's just like the opportunity is there to take a game and win it. We saw it against a couple other games this season, not closing out games. That mentality, how you approach that, your thoughts on that?
Well, I kind of would disagree because we actually closed out some games at the end of the game.
Wake Forest
and Miami was 2 perfect examples. Like and I was kind of, like you said, I wasn't even worried then. I was like, okay, defense, Jay Bateman's going to put us in a position to make plays. They're going to make the play, and we're going to get out of here with a dub. And at the end of the game, I mean, they didn't make the plays when they were there to be made. And it was a perfect call again by Jay Bateman. Cover 2, they knew they were going to go for a shot. It was there. And the safety, in the box on 2nd and 18.
And I mean, it's kind of how you look at it, but the Pittsburgh game, they closed it out in the second half, but then in the way it kind of wound out in the overtime, didn't close out. But the opportunity was there for UNC to take advantage of that. Yeah. Goes back to what we talk about mental and just not making the plays, the onside kick, the touchdown. It's just like, it's how football goes. There's just games where one team makes one play, and that's the complete difference in the whole game. That's right. Okay. Another takeaway. All right, UNC is 6-6. All right, and this is kind of looking towards the future. 500. Average team last year. I think they were 8-4, 8-5. Weird COVID year. 2019 they were 7-6, I believe. So you go 7 wins, you go 8 wins, and now you go 6 wins. How does that feel as a fan, as an alumni, as a former player?
Well, again, we talk about it on almost every show. It was just more of a disappointing season because of, the hype around all the good recruiting, all the good recruits we've landed. We lost some guys, but we still have guys, and going into the season ranked. Yeah. I think, more of it was just a disappointing season for me personally. But, guys showed flashes. Unfortunately, we had Sam, and, to have him his last year here, I thought we would do a lot more and, come out with a lot more wins. But, I don't know if we're moving backwards because we're still recruiting well.
Recruiting is honestly going better than expected. It's going crazy right now.
Right, I would expect it to have.
They're getting 5 stars.
But we talked about this too. We're getting them in, but are we making those guys better?
Yeah, development.
Yeah,
So look, it's 6-6 now. They could have gotten the 7th win today, be 7-5, and then you get a bowl win, 8-5.
Which would have been an ugly 7. It don't even seem like we won that many games.
On paper,
the way we won.
On paper, 8-5 looks great.
Right.
6, 7-6, 6-7, not so pretty. It's kind of like you look at the numbers year after year. It's kind of regression. So I mean, this could have been a big game. It could have gone either way, and it came down to the last minute or so. That's how you kind of look at this season. It's like, man, this would have been a huge win, knock off your rival, and now you're looking at a 6-6 season, maybe 7-6, maybe 6-7. It's definitely disappointment. Yeah, definitely not what we expected. We've been kind of riding the highs and lows here together on this roller coaster of a year. It's crazy games going back to Virginia Tech, Georgia Tech, Florida State.
But all winnable games. Like all games. I don't, correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like we were in every game.
Like Georgia Tech might have been like the biggest beatdown.
The biggest beatdown.
Which is wild because.
But we came off a big win. I can't remember who it was.
Virginia.
Yeah, big win. And I expected us to play a lot different against Georgia Tech.
And you beat Wake, and then you played Notre Dame pretty tough. It seemed like Notre Dame was the better team there, but it's been a wild year. All right, guys, we want to appreciate y'all watching on YouTube, on Instagram, and on Facebook. This has been the Inside Carolina Postgame live show. We do not know.
Sad to go, man.
Yeah, we got one
Well,
more.
we got one more. We got one more.
Blue Shark Vodka. It's been fun with Sean. And we got producer Grant on the mic back here. Give us a shout out, Grant.
G-Money.
Thanks.
And we got producer John, who's been running the show for us for most of the weeks here. But Blue Shark Vodka, great sponsor for us. It's been up and down seasons. Thanks for sticking with us. It's been a kind of an interesting show to break down the game with Sean, broader views, and giving perspectives from different fans and everything. So we appreciate you watching on Instagram, on YouTube, and Facebook. Inside Carolina Postgame Live, presented by Blue Shark Vodka. UNC falls to NC State 34-30 to move to 6-6 in the season. Started off number 10, ranked. You know, we were thinking 10 wins.
Man.
We were thinking 9 wins, 10, 11. We were thinking college football playoff. UNC's now 6-6, and we'll see you at the bowl game. UNC will get a bowl berth, and we'll see you after that game. Appreciate it, guys.